ATL.GA Faithful, my people. I'm D. Douglas Carter, back on the scene doing my thing, and I just want to say I appreciate you and the work that you do. Got to come through and give my opinion on the Atlanta Falcons new uniform, okay? So Big Low, he was one of the first creators to jump on with his opinion, and I tend to agree with him. I commented and said, you know, I would give it a 4 out of 10, a 7 if we make the playoffs. The more I look at it, you know, the more I can kind of like it. I mean, it's clean, it's simple, it's plain. Shout out to Smitty. I do wish they would have included a black jersey as well. And like a lot of fans, I would have liked, you know, maybe the silver pants. I think it would look better if we did the black helmets with the red jersey with black pants with like a silver and red stripe, you know, and go black, red, black with the red socks. But I know that's a combo they could do, but I don't guess they're going to do that. So it looks like it's going to be red and white for home, and then all white with red trim for away. You know, it's cool. The Atlanta is away, Falcons home. I do like the Falcon on the sleeve. Some people wanted the stripes back, but overall, I mean, it's a clean design. I do like the Atlanta Falcon and the ATL on the helmet, the silver or chrome face mask. I think it's okay. I know they wanted to try to tie the silver, black, and red and white stripe down the side. Try to tie silver in with that face mask, but I hear a lot of different opinions. A lot of fans think it's really good. A lot of fans not so crazy about it. I'm not so crazy about it, but at the end of the day, if the players feel good in it, if they think they look good in it, we go out on the field and we win and we get to the playoffs. I mean, we win a Super Bowl in this uniform, it's going to be my favorite uniform of all time. So I don't really care about that as long as it looks clean, looks nice, the players ball out, and we win games. That's all I care about. Atlanta Hawks, they're doing their thing. Just keep winning. Let's hold that number 5 seed at least, hopefully. And man, they BTA Orlando the other day. It was a massacre. And then, you know, Orlando always wants to fight, always wants to try to do some cheap, chippy stuff. But I like the fact that everybody on the Atlanta Hawks team came to Jock Landale's side and was ready to fight if they wanted to. But the Hawks looking good, man. I'm liking the chemistry of this team. And then, you know, the Braves, they're doing pretty good. They got some, you know, little issues here and there, but they're still doing good. I think, you know, they'll be back in the playoffs, per usual Atlanta Braves. Not sure about anything going on with Atlanta United. I'll try to look something up on that, but I know mainly this channel is for Falcons, Hawks, and Braves. Mainly the Falcons, then the Hawks, but right now the Hawks is making a run, and then the Braves, we've just come to expect that. So, you know, they got us that World Series. They got us a couple of them. So still waiting for the Hawks and the Falcons to produce. Atlanta United got us one too. So that's good. All right, Hawks, Falcons, it's y'all's turn. What do y'all think about the uniforms? Y'all like the red? I like the red, but I would have preferred it red and black, not red and white. I was wishing we did have the black, you know, jerseys as well. They're keeping the throwback. That's not going anywhere. You know, that's all of our, or a lot of our favorites is the throwback anyway. I would like to see a throwback with the black and silver. But a lot of interesting things going on with the Falcons. I'm glad we re-signed D'Angelo Malone. I think he's better than advertised. I think he just hasn't really got that much of a chance. I got some other mock drafts I'm working on. I'm looking at some players that, you know, not everybody is looking at, just to kind of give us a different opinion. Maybe I'll throw some of them up here. So far, the consensus that I've seen through social media, through content creators, through sports analysts, writers doing mock drafts, they kind of are pegging Atlanta in the same way. A lot of the same players. Defensive tackle is a major need, wide receiver as a major need, linebacker, offensive line, you know, corner, definitely cornerback is on there. So if some of these top guys fall to 48, you know, whether it's a cornerback or defensive tackle or possibly offensive tackle, I think we'll go ahead and get the best player available. I was listening to 92.9 The Game, and I heard them say that uh, they were interviewing Ian Cunningham and asked about, the 5 draft picks, and Ian's still saying, yeah, for now. So there is a possibility of him trying to work something, trade back in the draft, get some more draft picks, and that brings up the Kyle Pitts trade thing. So if somebody offered us a good trade for Kyle Pitts and some draft picks, I would think Ian would probably take that, but it couldn't be, outside of the third round or anything like that. It'd have to be some good capital, some good trade value. Otherwise, we'll just keep Pitts and let him play out on the franchise tag. So that also incentivizes Pitts to have a good year because he's playing on that 1 year franchise tag, and we don't want him to just get complacent. He already made some statements before about not really caring about Atlanta or the fans, and this is just his job. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know how y'all feel about that. And it seemed like he showed up when he had to get paid, but other than that, it didn't seem like much. I'm looking forward to the second wave of free agency, see what's going on there. I know everybody probably heard the news Kirk Cousins is going to Las Vegas Raiders, which to me, it kind of makes the situation even more of like kind of a slap in the face. I like Kirk Cousins. I think he's a good person. I think he's a decent quarterback. At this stage in his career, he is a bridge starting quarterback. And that was the whole problem in Minnesota. And that, we got him here in Atlanta because the plan was for him to start for 2 years, see if he had anything left, take us to the playoffs. We were drafting Michael Penix. I guess it came to a surprise as him. He dry snitched on us, got our draft pick taken from us, and then proceeded to play when he was hurt, and he probably could have let Penix play, and we probably would have made the playoffs. Now he's going to the Raiders to do the same thing, got a big contract again to be a bridge quarterback, and we know that they're drafting a quarterback at number 1 this year. So if he would have just kind of accepted that, I think it would have, his role now, it would have been better for everybody. It would have been better for the Falcons, definitely. Probably, maybe he would have stayed in Minnesota because it would have been the same thing he's doing now. But, I mean, ain't no sense in rehashing that anymore. But it's just like, really, Kirk, like, that you're talking out of both sides of your neck here, but it is what it is. And then I don't hate the Tua signing. A lot of people are saying he's just going to be the starter. I'm still hoping that Michael Penix is the starter and is ready to go week 1, because that would help some of the chaos, because it's going to be a story and it's never going to go away. If Tua starts, it's going to be like, when is Penix ready? If Tua has a bad game, does Penix get put in? If Tua gets a winning streak, does Penix ever even get an opportunity? It's too much moving pieces. That's why I'm cool with Tua being the backup. I want Penix to be ready and get his rehab completed and be ready to compete and start week 1. That way there's not a lot of problem, not a lot of drama, not a lot of story, but it's going to stay for a while. And if Tua does come in and ball out and does good, that's fine. Is he going to be like somebody for the future? If we make a playoff run with Tua, what does that mean for Penix? Is that like a tradable draft thing, or are we going to hold on to Penix? It's Tua, it's a lot, but it was a good deal. I think we got the best quality for the lowest cost with Tua, and we got 2 left-hand quarterbacks, so the receivers won't have to worry about switching up, how they catch the ball with the rotation. And I just want to make the playoffs. I just want to win. I want us to get. I like the hire of pulling more people from the Philadelphia Eagles. It tells me Ian Cunningham is about business, and he is about building in the trenches, because that's what the Eagles do. And what we know the Eagles also do is pull from the University of Georgia, which produces some of the best athletes, bar none, period, point blank. So hopefully, I hope we get some Georgia dogs in the draft. I know we adding Georgia dogs to the roster. I feel like we're going to build in the trenches, and it's not a rebuild, but it is a refresh. It is a renew, prove it deals, cheaper contracts, but still solid pieces. Let's just do it, man. The division has been up for the taking, and we haven't took it. I hope Kevin Stefanski knows what he's doing. I hope he formulates a good game plan. I hope the offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, does better than Zach Robinson, because that's bad. I like the fact D'Angelo Malone had the opportunity to sign with the Bucks and said no. He said yuck to the Bucks and came back to the A, where the big dogs stay, where the big dogs play prime time all day, and let's do something here. Let's stay here and let's build something, and let's get in the playoffs. Let's win the division. Let's start the streak again. Matt Ryan's in charge. He's used to winning. Jeff Ulbrich, he's going to do his thing on defense. I think our defense is going to be straight. I like Aziz and Abukum. I think they're going to do good. We still don't know the deal on JPJ, but I think Jalen Walker is going to do good for us. I think we're going to get some more good draft picks. I'm excited to see what Zach Harrison's going to do, and Brandon Dorless coming back off the injury, Billy Bowman coming back off the injury. Can DeMarco Helms, carve a roll out here? AJ Terrell is going to be good. Can we find that number 2 corner that we need? Is Troy Anderson is he gonna suit up? What's his deal? I like Christian Harris at linebacker. I think him and Divine Diablo are gonna make a good, solid, fast, hard-hitting team, and be able to cover too. And then, our offensive line is getting, they're good, but they're getting up there. We got to start looking at that. But yeah, bring in another good wide receiver, quarterback, whoever wins it out wins, and just ball out and defense pressure and get turnovers. And I'm ready for the start of the season, ready for the draft. I hope the Hawks make a good playoff run, see how far they can go. And the Braves, they're doing their thing. So that's what I got. Just want to go over the uniform, touch on a couple things real quick. End this video like I end all my videos. Thank God works. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night. 1.